Oi, tudo bem? My name is Gabby. Today I'm going to talk about how Brazilians are really isolated from Latin culture. So first, Brazil is located in South America, and some people think just because of that we speak Spanish, because most of the countries in South America they speak Spanish. And no, we do not speak Spanish, and we do not speak Brazilian either. We speak Portuguese. And because of that, because of the way we communicate with each other, that kind of makes us isolated from Latin culture, Hispanic people mainly. For an example, when I got here in the United States, I could not speak Spanish, I could not speak English. I only knew Portuguese. So because of that, it was kind of really hard to communicate myself with others, because I was in my ESL classes and everybody else is over there spoke Spanish. And I was like, what's going on? What's happening? Because I could not understand them. Like, I was Latin too. Everybody else was Latin, but I was not Hispanic. And that made myself kind of on the side. Like, it was really hard to communicate myself. It was really hard to make friends. So because of that, I kind of had to force myself how to speak Spanish, because if I didn't learn, nobody else is like, I kind of could not have some certain connection with them, and that would be really hard for a high school student. And I had to learn everything, like the music, classic people, like classic musicians, about the food, about everything. And the main thing that kind of was really hard to me was music, because I grew up listening sertanejo, pagode, samba, funk, that's Brazilian style, and I never had any other like exposure to Hispanic music like salsa, bachata, or like Mexican music or anything like that. So music's for them that was like old, or like everybody already knows about it. For me, it was like new, was like a big deal. For an example, I was in this party with my friend. She's Brazilian also, but she is dating a Colombian, and they're all Hispanic. Only me and her that were Brazilian. And everybody in this party started singing a music that was like a classic, or like the musician was classic. And me and her were just like on the corner, like yeah, that's so cool. Like, we didn't know what's going on. So they were like, what do you mean? Like, he's famous. Like, he's like, everybody knows about it. Like, all the generations Hispanic knows about him. Like, everything. And I was like, we don't know about him, because in Brazil we're not taught to kind of learn about Hispanic culture. We do not. For an example, here in the United States, if you go to high school, you're gonna learn Spanish. So like that, you can learn more about Hispanic culture. In Brazil, if you go to high school in Brazil, you're gonna learn English. So that's how I would say, like, Brazilians, they know more Americans musicians than Hispanic. Like, we know the mainly ones, like Shakira, Maluma, J Balvin, but that's pretty much it. And like the food too, is like, it's so different. Like, I was in a car one time with my friends, and as I said, like, all my friends are Hispanic, and they're like having a discussion about it, which tortilla from each country is better. And I could not talk with them about it, because I told them, like, we don't eat tortilla in Brazil, like taco or anything like that. We don't eat it. And they're like, oh, like, oh my god, what do you mean? Like, you guys don't eat tortilla? I'm like, no. The max we have is a tapioca. That's like a flour that we put in a pan, you let it fry. It's kind of tortilla, but it's not. And like, it's like the Venezuelans and Colombians, like, oh no, that arepa, it's ours. But if I go to Brazil right now and say that to my friends, like, about Latin culture, I mean, Hispanic culture, they're not gonna know anything about it. They're not gonna know. If I tell them, like, arepa, they're gonna be like, what are you talking about? So it's like, we Brazilians, because of the language, we isolated ourselves so much that we created our own and unique culture. Like food, we have feijoada. In Brazil, everybody knows about feijoada. It's like black beans with pieces of pork, pão de queijo. In the north, we have like couscous. That's like a flour that we put to marinate in the water. It's like, it's different. I don't know how to explain it. So, like, we in Brazil, we live in this bowl that's like, that makes ourselves, like, everything kind of, we just know about us because we don't speak Spanish. And every Brazilian that got here in the United States is like, our minds open so much more because we get to know more cultures, which we don't do in Brazil. And even though we know a lot of cultures, and we're like, even though I speak Spanish, I still kind of out of their culture. So I'm Latin, they're Latin too. We're all Latin, but we don't share the same connection. Because I feel if you speak like, even like Paraguay, people from Paraguay and people from, I don't know, Mexico, they talk to each other, somehow they're gonna have a connection because of the language, because they speak Spanish. And somehow they're gonna find something that like similar or different from them. Like in Mexico, they have certain words that they don't use in Guatemala, or in Colombia, they have certain words that they don't use in Mexico. And that's how they communicate. And like, when they found out, it's like fun. They start talking about it. But in Brazil, we don't have anybody else to compare with. It's just us. Like, we are the only country that speak Portuguese in Latin America. So that kind of makes us really isolated. Even like how friendship and how the way they dress up, it's like different. Like, I can tell when I see a Brazilian woman when they're wearing like a dress, a long dress. Like in Brazil, we like to wear long dresses, like colorful and with a lot of flowers in it. Like, I can tell when it's a Brazilian or Hispanic person. So I think that kind of bad. That's why whenever, like, with my Brazilian friends, when I talk to them, I kind of try to show them Hispanic music or talk about it, because we don't know anything. And that's why, like, a lot of musicians, Hispanic musicians, they don't go to Brazil. It's not worth it. Like, why am I gonna go somewhere that no one know about me? So that's basically it. Like, we try, I think Brazilians, I think we should try to merge more into the Hispanic culture. But at the same time, I kind of understand, because it's really hard. Like, we never, like, in the schools, they don't teach you how to speak Spanish, or they don't teach you about Hispanic culture. So why am I gonna go by myself over there, expose myself, like, leave my comfort area and learn Spanish or talk with Hispanic people? So we don't do that. We do have a lot of immigrants in Brazil too, like from Venezuela, from Bolivia. We do have that too, but it's not a lot. So we basically, it's different. It's just different. And I think, yeah, that's pretty much. I think we we're Brazilians, we should try to learn more. And I think it's Latin too. They like Hispanic people, they should kind of try to know more about Brazil, like more the singers and everything. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. Let me know if you guys have any questions.